Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa and this is Melissa Knits for Fun. Well, as you can see, I do have a finished object this episode. I also have a new cast on because I couldn't cast off one without casting on another one, right? I have one that's almost finished. It will be finished by next week. And then a few more that I'm just making slow and steady progress on. And one that I haven't really made any progress, but it's just too beautiful not to talk about every single week. And one that's even missing because I did not touch her at all this week. All right, guys, before we transition into what I'm wearing and talking about this, let me tell y'all, I made a video, went away this weekend with Michelle, my bestie, made a video. If you haven't watched it, you should go watch it. We have a lot of fun in it, talk a lot about our journey together. And there were a couple of things that we missed. Like we talked about her knitting these or crocheting these wings for Victoria, her daughter, which is a shawl that looks like wings. And I didn't put a picture in. So I have the picture of that. So I'll pop that up here. It's this beautiful shawl that you make all of these wings and then it's outlined in a contrasting color. She did such a great job with that. And let's see, one other thing. There was one other thing that we didn't talk about that I totally have blanked on now. But we have spent a lot of time together. We've been doing life together for a while now as best friends. And so if you haven't watched that, go check that out. All right, now, drum roll, what I'm wearing. It is the Edinburgh by Coco Moore Knits or Cheryl Makatari. And guys, this was her first pattern that I have made. It will by far not be the last pattern. It was so well written. No problems with it. The only thing that I wish that she had done, and if I ever get to test knit for her in a colorwork pattern, I will give her this feedback. I wish that she included a chart for both if the background color was dark and the contrast light and the background light and the contrast dark. She only had the contrast dark and the background light because that's what she knitted out of. That led to me making a mistake in this pattern. I'm not unhappy about the mistake. I like it. I think it looks good. But all of this right here, from like this little thingy right here, whatever you would call this little thing, that's supposed to be white. But then all of this solid white should be blue, and then these little ornament looking things should be white. Do I think it would look better that way? I don't know. I like it this way, and I think that it kind of balances out because it is such a high contrast. Guys, I knit this out of Cardiff Cashmere Classic. And if you haven't seen, they have a DK version coming out. Just saying. And it is just scrumptious. It is soft. It is silky. It is just a delight to wear. And I do have some left over. I have a full ball of blue and about only used about 10 grams out of the 25 gram ball of the other one. So I have 1 3/4 or so balls left. And then I have 3 balls of cashmere that is in this dark chocolate brown color because I wasn't sure if I was going to do a high contrast, which is what I decided on. And what y'all gave me feedback on whenever I did a little short about it and asked. The feedback was overwhelmingly do the blue and the white. Or I thought about doing a low contrast where the blue was the background and the white was, or the contrast was brown. And I think I may actually have this on backwards. I'm not positive, but I'm not that fussed about it. It feels like it fits right. But I'm wondering with the color work if I did put this on backwards. Anyway, it doesn't matter because it looks good. So back to the leftover mohair I have. I think what I am going to do, and don't everybody fall down and have a heart attack right now, because I think I'm going to knit something besides a garment, and I'm going to use that dark chocolate brown to make a Sophie hood, because guys, Petite Knit had a sale this last weekend. She had a sale 2 for 1 for her 10-year anniversary. I might have just lost all self-control all weekend. I bought 36 patterns. Yes, but I only paid for 18. So anyway, one of the patterns that I bought was a Sophie hood, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the hood in the solid chocolate, and then that I-cord edging that she has you do. I'm going to do some intarsia and use, take the full ball and split it in half. And I'm just going to do the I-cords in that contrasting color to where that I will have a hood where the solid color is brown and then it's outlined in this color right here. I really like that color combo. We'll see. Maybe I start it and I don't like it and I decide just to do the whole thing brown, but we'll see. Not in any big hurry. It is hot. I've had to turn my air down. I've got the fan on to wear this. It is warm today and it's just going to get warmer. We are not quite to walking on the surface of the sun right now, but we will get there before the summer is over. So that is what I'm wearing today. It is. I highly recommend this pattern. I highly recommend this yarn. It's beautiful. And I do not have any pictures yet of me and Dana because I just finished this. I've not even blocked it. I mean, you could probably tell because I'm sitting here pulling at my sleeves. I don't need to pull at my sleeves. They will block out and get longer. But I have not blocked this or anything, so I don't have any pictures with Dana yet. I will arrange to get them in the next couple of weeks. But this is my buddy knit that I got done. So I added another one. We'll get to that in a minute. But meanwhile, we will start where we always do, which is with my test knit. I only have one going right now. I did apply for another one, a Knit Pearl Girl test knit that is the I forget the name of it. It's a tee, and I've just drawn a blank. I want to say Waves Tee, but I don't think that's right. But it is a t-shirt. Have no idea if I will get it or not. I am just going to do it in a solid color. She did hers in stripes, and she used, I think, 6 colors. But again, she used an alpaca blend. Guys, I ain't using alpaca or wool or anything else for summer knits. I have learned my lesson on doing that. I'm not going to do that living here in the South. If I lived in Europe, although right now they're having a heat wave, but if I lived over there where it's primarily cooler all year, I would feel comfortable knitting it out of that kind of yarn. But I will not be knitting it out of that. What I will be knitting it out of is Drop Spell. I don't know what color yet, but I'm just going to do a solid color most likely. I have a lot of navy blue, and then I have some other colors, like a couple of different reds and a petrol. I don't think I have any white though. I may have some other colors where there's like onesies and twosies just to see colors and all. I might do a stripe version, but it's probably just going to be a solid, maybe a navy blue. Not sure what color, but we'll see. That is all depending on whether or not I get accepted or not. I'll find out in the next few days. But meanwhile, I have this stunner on the needles right now. It is my only test knit that I am working on. And this is the Women's Vine Pullover by Melanie Roundtree. And you can see I don't have a ton done, but that is because I have until the end of July to get this done, number one. And number two, it is really warm. I would like to get some of my summer knits done first, but I am just steadily working along. This has become my meeting knit, so I am just knitting whenever I'm in a meeting where I don't have to be fingers to the keyboard. And you can see this beautiful raglan right there. It's a compound raglan. It fits wonderful. It is such a pretty garment. And guys, we've got somebody in the test that has already completed 2 of them. I think they were 3/4 sleeves and not full sleeves, but still they finished 2 and I haven't even finished 1. But within the next few weeks, I'm not in any super big hurry, so I'm not trying to rush through it, but I would like to get this done so that I can give feedback and all of that. And it is just working up stunningly. I really like this yarn. This is the Wool of the Andes by Knit Picks. And I am using a cone. This is Columbine. I wish that they had all of their colors on cones because I really do like this. It reminds me a lot of Rama yarn. So we'll see. Maybe I will wind up knitting more out of this when it calls for Rama Feeble. So we'll just have to see. But that is what that is. I I'm kind of in a boring spot. I'm just doing stockinette. So not a whole lot to say about it, except for the pattern is so nice. So many different ways that you can alter this and make it fit your body. All right. And if y'all didn't see in the comments, Melanie did leave a comment whenever I talked about all of her modifications. And she said when she first started designing, she was thinking about herself. And then she had a friend who had trouble with, because of how her body was built, finding things that fit her right. And so that's where all of the modifications came from. It made me so happy and so warm to know that for the love of her friend is where she decided that she would go and put in all these alterations because of love of someone else. And that is just a beautiful testament to their friendship. So I was really happy that she shared that. All right. Now, one thing that I forgot, because somebody wrote last episode and said, hey, would you mind showing your cute stitch stoppers whenever you show your sweaters, because we would like to see them. So I will try my best to hold this up. And I am far away. I took this with me, obviously, last weekend so that I could record, and I haven't gotten it set back up where it needs to go. It needs to actually come a little closer to me and be down a little bit. It will be better next week, so I'll be able to show these better, but I will do my best. These are just little hearts with knitting needles through them, and it says handmade with love on there. My friend Elizabeth gave me these last year from the yarn crawl. She had gone down, I want to say they were in Paragould. There was a shop that she went to that was a bookstore and a knitting store, or a yarn store, and she had gotten these. And I said how cute I thought they were, and she was like, well, here, take them. So, so sweet. So those have a special place in my heart, and so I try to use them. And then next up is my Tolsta Tee. This is the 4-ply Tolsta Tee, and it is part of the knit along that I'm hosting. And this is the second one. I did finish the DK weight a couple of weeks ago. And yes, last week I said, oh, I only have 12 more rows. Then I went, oh, maybe I don't have just 12 more rows, because that's a lot. I do not have just 12 more rows. Right now I have 4 more rows. So I've only done about 8. But I've got 4 more rows. Until then, I have to do 16 rows where I'm increasing every single round. So there you go. I've got about 20 more rows to go before I am able to split for sleeves. And that would make much more sense. 20 more rows versus 4 more rows, right? So there ain't no way that that would fit. So yeah, about 20 more rows at least for sure until I do something else. But I think I read ahead far enough to say yes, in 20 rows I'll be splitting. And I am loving this. I love this color. This color is so pretty. Nobody has told me that it is a sweaty yarn, and I do have, Dana has a tank top made out of this, and she said it hasn't bothered her at all. So I like the feel of the yarn. I think it's really soft, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it. The jury's out whether I'll be able to wear it in like late July and all of August. We'll see. I'm certainly going to try, but if it is a little bit too sweaty, then it will become one of those that I just don't wear during that time. And I will knit 1 out of 10 Lena, because I know that one I can wear all summer. All right, and this is, well, let me just not even tell you the designer or the yarn or anything else. It has been a day. I'm blaming Memorial Day weekend on breaking me because I had 4 days off. So anyway, this is the Tolsta 4-ply, or the Tolsta fingering weight, and it is by Rebecca Clow, or the Crayabea. I am knitting this out of Bamboo Pop Sock in the colorway Valentine. Like I said, love this color. And my friend Lisa very kindly reached out to me and said, I have a ball of that, because I only have 3 balls of this. I'm not positive it's going to be enough. And Lisa said, you know, I don't like the yarn. It's the same dye lot and everything. She bought it from Letha. She said, I'd be happy to give it to you. So she left it at the yarn shop last week, and I picked it up. Very, very happy. Thank you again, Lisa, for that, because that way I know I will not have to play yarn chicken, and I won't have to have a top that is more cropped than I want it to be. All right. So now moving along to the and again, I forget to show my stitch stoppers. So here we go. And as you can see, I cut some out because I had already switched over, and I decided I would just try to edit and make it kind of be seamless, but we'll see. So here's my little stitch stoppers for this. These are just little penguins, little baby penguins. They're so cute. We've already established I have no self-control whatsoever, and last year at the Fiber Festival, the Yarn Adventure truck was there, and they had all of these little stitch markers for, I think they were $2.50 a piece or so, and I got a whole bag of them. And now, I am not one that can mix and match, so if there were not two, Mama wasn't getting it. So I have to have them together. I just can't mix and match. I tried this weekend. I put a llama on one end, and I put an elephant on the other end, and it just stressed me out. So they're back together with their own species. So, but here's the little penguins. Aren't they adorable? And I think that those I got at the Yarn Adventure truck, they might have come from Holskarn. I do have some that are from Holskarn. I get them everywhere. All right, now, the one that I've got that's not associated with the buddy knit, not associated with the test knit, not associated with the knit along. This is just purely, I want to knit it. I started it last year. Yes, I put this on wrong because now I can feel it. Anyway, it's backwards, but it still looks good. But I started this last year because I really wanted this top, and I didn't get it done before the summer was over, and I really wanted to switch to winter knitting. So I put this down, hibernated it for the winter, and picked it back up. And this is the Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit. I love this pattern. It fits so, so well. It is everything I expect a Petite Knit pattern to be. It's well written. It has beautiful finishing touches. It's just everything I expect. Yes, is this a basic sweater or top? Yes, it is. It is basic. There is nothing fancy about it except for it's got this really pretty compound raglan. It fits really well. It's got I-cord edging. It's just got some really nice finishing touches. And I like having tees that I don't have to think about how I style them. This is a fancier top. I'm not going to throw this, well, I do throw it on with a pair of sweatpants around my house, but I'm not going to throw this on with a pair of sweatpants and wear outside. I will absolutely throw this on with a pair of shorts. Doesn't matter whether they're t-shirt style shorts or jean shorts or whatever. And I will throw on some flip-flops and away I will go. Absolutely. So I'm knitting this out of one of my favorite summer yarns. And that is the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. Hang on. Man overboard. It is the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. And as you can see, I have plenty of this. I bought 5. I only need 4. So, yay, as I am losing weight, I am not having to buy quite as much yarn. So that is exciting. So I know that just a basic tee, I should only need about 4 of these. And so I'll have a whole ball left over, which is good. And I should have some of this left over because I'm probably only about somewhere between 3 and 5 inches from where I want it to hit me. And then I can't count on a ribbing because this is an I-cord bind off. So it's going to be 3 to 5 inches of stockinette. But guys, I got a lot done this weekend because I played Passenger Princess the entire weekend. 2 hours there, 2 hours home. Every time we drove to go to eat or we drove to go anywhere else, I was knitting away in the passenger seat, and we even took it in to Mama G's. Mama G's was so nice. It was so good. It is soul food. Guys, if y'all live around Springfield and you have not tried Mama G's, they had the best fried chicken livers I have ever put in my mouth. They were so good. And Michelle, who does not love catfish, really liked their catfish strips. So they're usually not done enough for her, but they got hers done enough, and she was very happy with it. And we stayed, another plug that I want to give real quick. We stayed at the Walnut Street Inn, and it was delightful. I will put a little video up right here. In fact, that was the thing that I thought about earlier. I'm going to put a little video up here showing our room because it was the perfect room for us. There was a loom behind the bed that I slept in, and we had a nice sitting area. It was just absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. So it was really nice, and we had such a good time, and we had some really great food and some fun things. The last night it rained, so we ordered in, and we ordered from somewhere that was called Middle Beast, And it was I think it was a Lebanese restaurant. It was really good. And then it was either that one or we were going to go with Tie Me Up, because there was a Thai place called Tie Me Up. Thought that was pretty funny. But back to the knitting. This is, as I said, the Cumulus Tee by Petite knit out of Knitting for Olive pure silk in the colorway Haze. I am so looking forward to this. You should expect to see me in this as a finished object next episode, because I'll be really surprised if I do not get this done before the weekend. I record on Wednesday. Y'all will watch this on Saturday. I'd be really surprised if it's not already done by the time y'all see this video, by the time it's released, because I just don't have a whole lot left to go. And just very, very, very excited. Cannot wait to wear it. All right, let me get this plugged in here so that I can show y'all this cute little stitch stopper group. And this is one that I had split the species and just couldn't do it anymore. This is the little llamas. Look at them with their little pink bow. I got these from Holsgarn, and they had some brown ones as well, but these little guys with their little pink bow just got me. So trying to get close enough without having to stand up. And they are just adorable. All right, and it is a collection just like yarn and anything else. They're just cute and I like them. All right, now transitioning on, these are all of my Buddy knits. As I told you, I got one done, so therefore I had to cast on a new one, right? Well, I was watching last night, I was watching Ruby and Pearl's podcast. Love that podcast. Leah is so incredibly talented with all of her knitting, and she has a lot of the same taste as I do. And when she pulled out and said that she was knitting the Nia sweater, and I'll pop a picture of this one up here because I've only got like 6 rows done, so you're not going to be able to tell anything by it. But when she said that she was knitting that, I was like, oh, I would love to buddy knit that with you, because I've been wanting to cast it on. I've got the yarn for it, and I would love to knit that. So she told me to drop her an Instagram message, and I did. And so we've been conversing all day. She is just as nice one-on-one as she appears to be in her podcast. She lives over in the UK. And so we've been just chatting today, and she is much, much further than I am. She has already cast on, and she is working on, I guess, the right front, whichever one she started with. I don't know which one because I haven't read it, which one you pick up first, but she's on the second front. So I was like, whoo, I gotta get busy. So I did cast on today. And this is, as I said, the Nia sweater by, I think it's by Irene Lynn. It'll be down there, so I may have gotten the name wrong, but it will be down there like it always is. But I have cast on. It's going to be lace in the back. I mean, you'll see. It's going to be beautiful. I am using the recommended yarn, which is the Durarum Natura Gilead. And this is the colorway Confit de Rose. Or Boys de Rose. Anyway, something de Rose. I'll put it up there. It's beautiful. And I love Gilead. It is so incredibly bouncy and soft and squishy, and it does feel a little dry, but that's perfectly fine. I do not care. I have another sweater out of this, and I love it. I wear it in the summer. It is absolutely beautiful yarn. It is soft enough to wear next to skin. Now, I say that with the caveat of I can wear Let Lopey next to skin, and it doesn't really bother me. I mean, unless, like, if I were moving around a whole lot and it was constantly moving on my body, it might bother me a little bit, but it doesn't bother me just doing regular stuff. I love this, though. To me, it is very soft, and I wish y'all had Fill-A-Vision so that you could squish this. If you live anywhere near somewhere that carries this, go squish it. It is worth it, because it is so bouncy and squishy, and it is one of my favorite worsted weight yarns. So, as I said, I've only got 6 rows. Not a whole lot to say about this yet. I will say this pattern, when I went to print it out, it was 22 pages, and I was like, why is it 22 pages? Well, that's because she has written instructions and she has a chart. I normally don't go for written instructions. I didn't like how the chart was set up, because you had to, like, it didn't all fit. So I do not know why the decision was made not to just make it to where it would have to print out landscape. But I'm not the designer, so I'm not going to quibble about that. The written instructions are working just fine. So I'm not actually using the chart, and I'm a chart girl. I'm not actually using the chart on this. I'm using the written instructions. There was one other one, the Low Tide by Rachel Ilsley, that I also did that with. So, all right, not a whole lot to say about this. It is in its infancy. I'm hoping to get quite a bit done by next week. I doubt very seriously it will be joined in the round. But there is one that I have gotten split for sleeves that I'm really happy about, because last week I told y'all how much trouble I'd had and how I had to rip this out like 3 times, and not at all a pattern problem. It was a me problem. And there's a few reasons why. I do not know why, but I am much more settled when my project is split for sleeves. I don't know why. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like I'm rushing towards something to get it split for sleeves. It's a mental thing for me. So that was part of it. I tried to go too fast. I was in too much of a rush, and so I wound up, not doing it right and all that. And then there's other things too. We can get very complacent in our knitting. I knit so much, and I do so much garment construction, and I'm used to doing things where, your beginning of the round is where it was at the beginning of a sleeve, right? This was sleeve stitches. None of that bothers me. I've done short rows across raglans. None of that stuff bothers me. And so I got very complacent, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm just knitting away, and I'm going across. And so I'm just going to knit. And, as I was knitting, I'm going to knit across this sleeve, and then that's all I'm doing. Yep, that's right. But when you turn it around, I was like, okay, so I knit across that sleeve, and then I'm just going to knit to here. I'm just going to knit through the body. And I forgot about, I need to go all the way across this sleeve, because I didn't go back and look at the instructions again, because I'd already done this, right? And I know how to do this. And so I got up in my head, and I was like, ah! And then I figured it out a few rows in and was like, okay, ripping it out one more time. But luckily, I have gotten past all of that, and I have this beautiful, beautiful thing going. Let me turn it around to where it is actually right. Had it right the first time, where it's actually right to where that you can see it. Isn't that beautiful? There's texture. There's these little things called, they're fake baubles. They're little Estonian buttons. You can't see them really, really well. But then there's this textured part, and then there's the ribbing, and then I'm fixing to do another Estonian button. Oh, lovely, lovely, and just very well written. This is the Staffin Lite. And I am doing the 4-ply, and I am doing this. This is by Rebecca Clow. And guys, I'm going to pause that. Jordan is calling me, and now I'm worried. Okay, I'm back, and it was nothing. Jordan just was not positive if I was going to be knitting tomorrow night, and she was calling to check. But when I get a phone call unexpectedly from Jordan, it does make me worry a little bit. She is like my adopted mom. She has just taken me under her wing, and I love this woman dearly. So I decided it could not be put off until I was done with the podcast. So let's get back to the Staffin Lite. This is the Staffin Lite by Rebecca Clow. It is, again, I find her patterns very well written, very easy to understand, very easy to follow. This is no exception. This is all charted though. Now, she does not have a written instruction for it as well. This is all charted. And she has charts for the increases, and then you just go to, there's a 36 row chart that you just repeat over and over and over until you get it where you want it to go. And so far it's fitting very well. I tried it on, and it's just going to be lovely. I am knitting this out of Bendigo Woolen Mills Cotton 4-ply. And I will tell you, when I got this, and I showed y'all, it's been a bunch of episodes ago because it was before the tariffs went in last October or whenever it was. because they're not shipping to the US anymore. I said, it's cotton. This is some of the nicest cotton I think I've ever worked with. So if you live in Australia or New Zealand, or you can get this or whatever, it might be worth it. It's a very reasonably priced cotton, and it is not splitty. It has not split on me at all. It is, the stitch definition is so nice. I mean, just look at the textured part of that, how you can see the texture. The stitch definition is beautiful. It's a really, 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 really nice quality. Nice quality cotton. So, boy, do I wish I had ordered more of it. We'll see. I'm sure that there are really nice quality cottons over here too. I need to try out the Mandarin Petite by Sandus Garn and see how it compares. But I'm really, really impressed with this cotton. That's all I'm saying about that. And this is the colorway Cranberry Juice. It's one of my favorite colorways. I love reds. I love pinks. I love burgundy, purple. I mean, all of those really either deep, rich, super saturated, or super pale. Those are the colors that I go towards. So, and typically reds, purples, pinks, blues, greens. Do not give me yellow. All right, and I'm gonna not forget this time, these also came from Holskarn, and these are my little hippos. So, aren't those cute? I have little hippos on the Staffin Lite. All right, and then last but not least, and this is the one where I only did 2 or 3 rows on this, so not very much. Now I did block it, and I did have it all out on the try-on cords, and I tried it on for Michelle. Let me tell you, this, it fits so well. It is just stunning. And look, after I blocked it, you can even see the cable definition from far away. Look at that stitch definition and how that blocked out. The cables are just stunning. I am so excited about this. Now, I for sure am not going to be able to get just five cables down the middle and be good, because I am only about halfway done, and I am at 3.5. This next row is when I will start bringing those cables back in. So I've done all of my plain rows. I'm at 3.5, 5, 6, not going to cut it. I'm going to have at least 7 or 8. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the way that the yarn spun. I just don't know. Or it's my knitting style. I don't know. This fits me really well though, so I really don't care how many cables I have to have. So I'm just going to continue to work on this a little bit at a time. This is a buddy knit. The Staffin Lite was too. I'm buddy knitting that with my friend Ginger from the yarn shop. She's knitting the regular Staffin. This one I am buddy knitting. It started out as a buddy knit with Chelsea from Sunday Knitting Society. And then a couple of viewers joined us, Melissa and Chris. And Chelsea is already done. Chris has the sleeves left. And Melissa and I, the 2 Melissas, are bringing up the rear. So, but this is, and I didn't tell y'all, this is the It is the Book Club Raglan. I started to say cardigan. This is not a cardigan. It's the Book Club Raglan, and it is by Sari Nordland. This is my first Sari Nordland that I'm knitting that I'm going to finish this time. I have a Sari Nordland that's in timeout because I thought I knitted it really wrong, and I'm not sure I did. I've got to figure that out. I may have to rip it out and start over, or I may just continue on. We'll see. But this one, it is just absolutely beautiful. It's well written. The first part was fiddly, where you had 4 charts you had to keep track of, but since then, I mean, I have just memorized the chart, and like I said, the only thing that I use the chart for is to keep track of these horseshoe cable things, and that's it. And I am knitting this out of 100% merino. It is a cone that came from Woolly Yarn out of Latvia, which is a dead stock company, and I grabbed this whenever I ordered some other stuff because I love this color. I bought it for the color more than anything else. I wanted something in this color really bad, and I actually bought it I was going to do another cabled, it's a cabled Henley that is by Zenette Knits, and I wound up repurposing it for this. And boy, do I not regret it. And I don't know what's going on. I see some kind of line going on. Of course, my hair's there too, but I think it's just where it's been folded that it's kind of creased. But not a whole lot to say about it. It's a really nice pattern. It's very well written, not confusing. I mean, the first part where it was the 4 charts, it was kind of fiddly and I had to mark a few things. But once you figure that part out, it's just cable knitting. If you can cable knit, you can cable knit this sweater. All right, and guys, that's it. That's what I've got this week. Other than, I have acquisitions. I lost all self-control when we went to One City Market in Springfield. And we went there on Friday while we were waiting for our room to get ready. I had a list. I knew what I was buying. They have Wool Dreamers and they have Dando. And those are 2 that Letha does not carry and that to order, I'd have to order from somewhere. I really wanted to see the colors. So I knew I was going in there and I was gonna spend a bit of money. I just lost all control and I wound up, I did good. I didn't buy everything on my list. That would have been prohibitively expensive. I did buy about 3 Dandos, 3 sweater quantities, or t-shirt quantity. They're short sleeved. So 3 T quantities of Dando. And then I bought for the Rebecca Clow sweater, and I had a plan for another sweater out of the Cativa. And I bought 1 more sweater quantity because I just couldn't choose between the colors. But first I'm going to tell you about the things that I got before we got there. So I told y'all I have the best bestie that's ever bestied in all of the galaxy, right? All universes everywhere. She is the best ever. She and her husband went to Portland, Oregon, and then up to Seattle, Washington, and then they took, well, it wound up being a bus because the train was down, but they were supposed to take a train into Vancouver. Well, I had said when I found out she was going to Vancouver, oh, if you wind up anywhere near Wet Coast Wools, would you mind grabbing me some Philcolana Tilia? I didn't mean for them to take a special trip, but they did, and it was a 20-minute Uber ride, and they got there, but she bought a sweater or a t-shirt quantity as well, so it wasn't just for me. They did buy stuff, but she got me my Philcolana Tilia that I'm going to use to hold with that to make the Sunday sweater, which I did buy as part of the Petite Knit sale. And then I asked her, because I really wanted to feel Arwetta to see, because there's a lot of patterns out there that people use Arwetta and mohair held together. Ooh, I understand why. This is so incredibly soft. It is 80% virgin wool and 20% nylon. I don't think this is superwash, and it is, oh my gosh, soft. Somebody's got to start selling Philcolana here. They got to start letting them sell it in the United States. I need Philcolana. Meanwhile, I'm just going to have to go to Vancouver again. But I am going to wind up. This, I think I'm going to hold with that mohair that I got from Pearl Soho. I think this will be beautiful. And this, I have a gift card that I won as part of the Winter Soul knit along. And it is for, it's for a designer or a hand dyer. And she has this fluff that is just beautiful. And I think that color would really go well with this. Just by seeing what's on the screen, it may not. But if it does, then I'll wind up holding it with this and make something out of these. I'm going to have these colors. These are beautiful. So, my best bestie in the world brought me some yarn. I mean, I paid for it, but she got me some yarn. She had to go out of her way to get it, and she and her husband did, and her husband was totally great about it, because he is totally great, and he's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful yarn enabling husband. All right. Then I ordered on May 17th, I told y'all this last week, that I had ordered some Hillis Vog because it was on sale at SU Fibers for the Norwegian Independence Day. And so I wound up getting this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Luna by Hillis Vog in this gorgeous, gorgeous dark green colorway. And I am going to make one of the petite knit sweaters. I think it's the Hannah V-neck is what it's called. I'll put a picture up here. It is her new V-neck. She does it out of burgundy. I'm going to do it out of this color. It's just stunning. And then we get to City Market, One City Market. As I said, I wanted yarn for that Rebecca Clow, I think it's called Tane. It is out of the 52 weeks of sweaters. It's the one that I was drawn to, and I wanted to get this. This is one of the recommended yarns. This is the Wool Dreamers Moda. I need 7 for my size. In my feeding frenzy, I only bought 5 because she came out with the bag because she had to go upstairs to see if she had more, because she sold a ton of this because of that sweater, right? So I didn't get the color I wanted. I really wanted the burgundy, but this color, I like this color too, so no problem. So I had to call her yesterday, and she's sending me 2 more so that I have enough. But this, honestly, this reminds me a lot of Gilead. It has a very similar hand feel. So, but I think this is considered a DK, and this is considered a worsted. Yeah, this is 230 meters per 100 grams, and I don't have the thing for this, but they're very, very similar feel. So these, in my mind, could maybe be interchangeable. All right. Oh, and I was going to tell you, just because I can't believe this, because of how the Nia is done with you being able to choose your ease, I think it's from like 0 to 14 inches or something. I don't think it's just 14 centimeters. But anyway, the smallest size is a 48 inch. I'm knitting a size 1. I had never knit a size 1, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm knitting the smallest size. But somebody who's really small would not be able to knit this because it would swallow them. So I will say, not very size inclusive, not to have smaller sizes, but it is pretty. But yes, I got a sweater quantity of this, and then the Cativa. I'm gonna do the, I cannot butcher it. I'm just gonna put a picture up here. It is an Isabel Kramer. It starts with the B. I'm not gonna butcher. I'll just put the name up here too. But I'm gonna make that out of this yarn. This yarn was used. It may be the recommended yarn. I don't remember. But whenever I was looking to see what people had made out of this, it was all over the place. I mean, there were so many examples of this, not in this color, but so many examples of this in lighter colors and stuff. It's got this really pretty yoke that's got like some cable designs up here. And so I'm going to knit that out of this color. And then this was the other color that, I mean, these colors are no surprise to anybody that's watched this podcast. These are my colors. Could not resist this. Well, picked out a pattern. Really excited about it. I'll put the picture up here. Michelle and I picked it out. It is gorgeous. And somebody did knit it out of this color. Oh, it's so pretty. And I want that pattern so bad. And I was like, oh, yay. And I started reading it. I'm like, why is this all in Spanish? And there's no English anywhere. That's because the pattern is only written in Spanish. So, I got a little problem. I don't think I'm going to be able to knit that. So I did come up with an alternative. And I'll show you that one too. Unless I find some. Ooh. Actually, Cameron's best friend is Spanish speaking. So Nabil might be willing to translate for me. I might reach out to her and be like, hey, can you translate something for me? But we'll see. I've got 2 alternatives. So let me know what you think. Should I bug Nabil and be like, hey, can you translate this for me? Or should I just knit the alternative? Let me know what y'all think about that. All right, and then the Dando. I think that what we landed on was that this was going to be, I don't remember the name of the design, but it's the one where it's really pretty and it's got all this beautiful lace. I'll put pictures up. And then this one is going to be the Skyline. That one I do remember. And it's really pretty and it's got some lace details in it as well. So got those to do these. This is the Dando Linen. And both of those, the Wool Dreamers, just 100% wool. And then I got these. These are going to be, there's one called the Joinery, but there's another one that is similar, but it's a V-neck. And that's the one that I'm going to do. And I don't remember the name, but I'll again put it up here. But what you do is you have to hold each color double, and then there's sections where you hold these 2 together. And this is their Cotton Air. It's 100% cotton, and there's a lot. There's 465 yards per 50 grams. So this is a lot of yarn in these. And so I went up with 3 of each of these. And, ooh, aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they gorgeous? Just beautiful. So I will be doing that as well. And so I do have plans for all of these. I am forcing myself before I buy new yarn, not forcing myself, but I am trying to be very, very conscious of when I'm buying new yarn and bringing it in, because there is a lot of yarn. I have a lot of yarn. And in fact, at this point, I need to slow down for my own sake. But I have a lot of yarn. And so anything that I bring in, I need to have a plan for. That doesn't mean that I'm never going to have something that I bring in that I'm like, oh, I'll figure out a pattern later. Of course I will. But I'm trying to be very conscious about that. I am also, one thing that I'm very excited about, I'm going to Rhinebeck this year. I was supposed to go last year, but because of work stuff and all that, I wound up not going. And I am going this year, and I'm going to be there with Teresa and my friend Erica that I've talked about, that she was at the Costa Rica retreat, and that's where I met her. And then we traveled to Chicago, and we were going to go to the retreat, the Fruity Knitting retreat in Austria. And again, because I got laid off, I wound up not going to that. So I'm really excited to see her again. And then also my friend Roseanne that lives up there that I'm friends with. And then some that I've met, like, I think it's Annette is her name. But anyway, some of the people that I have met, I've met most of the people that are going at least once, but the people that I really know are Teresa, Roseanne, and Erica. And I'm really excited. I'm so excited to be going. So if you are at Rhinebeck, if you do go and you see me, please, please, please say hi. I know this is months and months away, but I'm going to keep saying it because I'm so excited. Y'all have no idea how excited I get whenever somebody says, I watch your podcast, and they're not somebody that I like, you know, am friends with, that I'm like, watch my podcast, right? They're not my actual, like, friends. They're people that I've gotten, and I just can't tell you the joy that it brings me. Hopefully my face is conveying that right now, because it is. There's so much joy that goes with that. But I'm super, super excited that I'm going to be going to Rhinebeck. So I am going to go on a low buy. I'm not going to say no buy, because I'm not. I do have some things that I have to buy. I have to buy the rest of the yarn for Dowlin's Zipper Sweater Light. I've got to do that. I've got to get that. And then there's a couple of Santa's Garden Lena colors that are being discontinued that Letha has, that I'm going to go ahead and pick up. One of them that I thought I had already picked up, but I actually bought that color in the tin Lena, so now I'm going to go back and buy the Lena. And then there's this pretty blue that I also want to buy. So those I definitely will get. Everything else right now, it's going to be real scrutiny. Like, I'm going to have to really sit and think about, do I want this? And for me, it's more drops that goes on sale that I get so tempted by, but I have to keep reminding myself this stuff goes on sale all the time. This stuff goes on sale all the time. If they discontinue the color, then I will go buy if I need to. But right now, they're not discontinuing colors. So I'm trying to be very, very good. Having said that, I do have some drops coming right now. But that's because air was on sale. So I do have a few more things coming that I've already pulled the trigger on, but I am going to try to go on a low buy, because I want to save up the money to where that I don't have to feel like that I have to budget. That's not true. I have to budget for Rhinebeck, but I won't feel like that I'm there and I'm like, oh, I can't buy anything here because I spent all of my money on all of this other stuff that would be available at other times. And I did hear that Pearl Soho is going to be there this year, so that might be a little dangerous. We shall see. All right. And speaking of Pearl Soho, I've only got a couple of weeks left on the affiliate link before we re-up. It was a 3-month thing. So if you're thinking about Pearl Soho and you've got an order, please use my affiliate link. I get a little commission for it, but it costs nothing more for you. It is a great way to help support my channel without it costing you anything, just like subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting. All right, well guys, that is it for me today, and I hope everybody has a fantastic knitty week until I see you again.